Hi there. This video will show my mining run to Borann, low temperature diamond hotspot, where you have 3 overlapping hotspots at A2 planet. To get in the right position for the LTD 3, as it's popularly called, you have to drop in the drop zone, and this image will show you that you have to drop in the area shown if you want to get the highest possible yield out of this triple overlap. Unfortunately, when I approach the rings, I approach it from the, how should I say, the underside, and the image on Imgur is actually shot at the other side of the ring, so I confused myself a bit, and as a result I jump in at a suboptimal position, as you will see in a few moments. But nevertheless, the yield here is actually quite great. Here we go. After jumping in, I changed my target to the nearest low temperature diamond hotspot to keep myself from running in circles and getting back to asteroids that I already have prospected and mined. And the show begins. Always use your prospectors. You get the highest yield from any rocks when using prospectors, so you need to do that.
Asteroid scan complete.
And to make your small, faithful collector limpets use the least amount of time collecting your chunks, you will want the chunks to fly down below your ship, and you can do that by making the asteroid spin on your canopy, so to say, as I'm showing right now. Get in close. I'm not close here. You should get in much closer, as close as possible. That's the best way to do it. Keep a small shield on your ship for the same purpose. You will bump into the asteroids, and that doesn't really matter if you have a small shield on your ship. I have my pips set to weapons and 2 in engines. If my shield drops to 2 rings, I put some pips in system until the shield is up on 100% again. But from now on, it's just prospect, and if you find some LTDs, go and mine them with your laser. Maybe I should mention that usually when you drop into a hotspot, no matter what type of hotspot it is, you will more often than not get visitors visited by NPC pirates that will scan you, and just let them do that. Don't immediately start mining. Wait until you see if pirates show up. They will show up quite a short time after you drop in. If they don't show up, it's usually because there is another NPC miner in the area. I don't really know how the chances are on this. I most often meet pirates and they scan me and they complain that their children will starve and blah blah blah, and then they bugger off, and then I start mining, as I did here. This run I didn't get scanned by any pirates. But remember that, don't start mining until you are sure you are not getting scanned by an NPC pirate. And then from now on it's just using your prospector A class. It must be an A class to get the highest yield. And at this point, from 520 and until 1535 in this video, the video will play at 7 times normal speed. This mining run took about 1.5 hours, and while I find it strangely satisfying just mining and mining and mining, I don't think you want to spend 1.5 hours just sitting looking at me mining. So the next around 10 minutes is at 7 times normal speed. You can jump past it if you like. I will comment on a few things during the period, but that's up to you. YouTube has got this 10-second skip, and yeah, you know the drill. And you see I get the chunks to fly down below the ship. It works pretty well. And from time to time you will probably get the cargo full warning from your ship. That's okay, doesn't matter. You got room for 6 tons in your refinery, so keep mining and keep prospecting away. If you get the resources unallocated, that's an indication that you should probably ditch some limpets, but not before that. And never ditch more than the amount of bins you have in your refinery. So if you have a refinery with 6 bins like my mining python have, ditch 6 limpets and go back to a normal mining routine. And by the way, talking of python, my mining python is inspired by Down to Earth Astronomy's python mining build. It is meant to be able to use the combination of this low temperature diamond hotspot, triple hotspot, and the ability to take medium long trips to get to the best cell location when you have filled her up. It's got room for 192 tons of material and 6 tons in the refinery, so it's fine, and it has a decent jump range when it's full, so combined with the fuel scoop, that's great. You can see I put some pips in system right now to get the shields up again because I bumped into some roids. when I don't have 4 pips in weapons, I will deplete the weapons capacitor. But the rocks usually deplete before that happens, so it's not really a problem. And the heat management on this build is nice. It fits quite good because I never get any overheating problems. So mining. You can keep an eye on how much limpets you got left if you look at the prospector ammunition indicator on the left hand side of my head up display here, the light blue, just besides the heatsink. It says 75 now, 0 of 75. That means I got 75 now. I got 74 left. That's a great thing to keep an eye on, combined with the cargo full warnings and the resources unallocated warnings. Of course, you can always look at your inventory as well. That's also a nice indication. Maybe I should say that mining in a wing is better than mining alone, because you get some benefits from turning in the low temperature diamonds. You give some, I don't really know the exact figures and stuff, but it's, you benefit from what the others have mined and they benefit from what you have mined, and you have more people being able to prospect the roids, so the chance that you get high yield, high content roids are much higher. That means it's much faster, and the amount of chunks that you can mine from a roid is the same for everybody in the wing, as far as I know. So that way you can fill up the cargo bays fast, and you get a bit more credits out of that. Actually, I think it's a lot more credits, but I haven't really tried it out myself. $37 limpets back left in the cargo. The roids that like this one that looks like the ones you want to use when you are deep core mining, they more often than not contains a fair amount of low temperature diamonds for laser mining. So if you spot if you're used to spotting the core mining roids for low temperature diamonds, go for them if you see them here. but don't only go for them. All the other roids also have a fine chance of having a good yield. We're coming up on 1530 now, and the prospector limpets are down to 16 in cargo now. When getting close to 0 limpets in cargo left, you want to make sure that you are as close to the maximum cargo limit you can, and when you got the cargo bay full of low temperature diamonds, you want to keep mining a wee bit more so that you can get your refinery full. And you don't really need to prospect for the last few tons. As you'll see in a second, when I'm down to about 3 or 4, I'll ditch the last limpets and just keep mining without limpets, because the collector limpets that are already in action, they will pick up the low temperature diamonds that when I start to just mine the rocks that I fly by. Maybe I also should have mentioned that in the start, but it can be a good idea to exclude all the materials that you don't want your collector limpets to pick up. If you haven't excluded any materials at all, so there you see resources unallocated, and yeah, let me get back to that in a minute. Or maybe not. Yeah, you should do that. When you target a resource, you have the opportunity in the left panel to mark it as stuff you don't want, and then your collector limpets won't pick it up. Now I want to go to the miners tool to find the current best sell. So I'm closing the cargo scoop when I'm full. I think I'm just needing a ton or two. Materials you have excluded or banned won't show up on your radar as well. So there you go, resources unallocated next to the target radar. So I'm full, fat and happy, and backing off a bit, going to the miners tool. I will link to that in the description.
Deploy cargo hatch. Cargo scoop retracted.
Retracting the lasers. There you go. Refresh. San Wang is the best yield, the best payoff right now. So that's where we're going. And of course, no need to do that in real time, so I spread it up here. Don't be afraid to be interdicted. At least not in this Python mining build that I got. It's easy to win the interdiction fights. For some reason I didn't get interdicted on this run, so that's nice. But I haven't lost an interdiction yet, so it's a trait that you just have to learn. It's not that hard. As you can see, the time is now 2300 hours, so I started about 1.5 hours ago, and that's not too bad. If I had dropped in correctly, I would say this run would probably only have taken about 1 hour. That's the usual. Request docking.
Docking request granted.
Manually land your precious cargo stuffed python on the pad.
Landing gear deployed.
I was lucky to jump into the station at a great point here, so it was quite easy to get in position. There you go. Remember your gear.
Docking successful.
Let's go in.
Engines disengaged.
Repair, refuel, and look at the market. See if the miner tool was right. And there you go. 1.134. That's fine. 217 billion credits in 1.5 hours.
Incoming
And the
message.
last 6, of course. We won it all. Well, that's okay. 225 billion or something like that. That's okay. I'm gonna miss the Borann LTD 3. Damn you, FD. So, I just want to say goodbye. See you in the black. Commander Fleming signing off.